What's up, travellers? Welcome back to the channel. SJ Aviation HQ here. Welcome back to the channel today. Today we have the model review of the Singapore Airlines Boeing 747-400 aircraft wearing the tropical livery released by HX Models. Before any further today, go ahead and leave a thumbs up below. Great indication of how much you enjoyed today's video and of course the content here on this channel. While you're there, go ahead and subscribe to the channel below, and of course while you're there as well, go ahead and ding the bell icon to receive the notifications as soon as these videos go live onto the channel. Got the great array of videos coming up very soon indeed, including more model reviews like this, and of course the unboxings and the airport updates as well. If you did miss out of the unboxing I did of this aircraft, go ahead and check it out, top right corner right about now. That unboxing includes some more models that I'll be doing some reviews of in the future as well. As mentioned, this aircraft was released by HX Models. It was released in their May 2025 release, and this of course is the first ever model review I've done of an HX Models release, so very nice indeed. Cannot wait to show you how gorgeous the model looks later on in the video, included in terms of the livery and of course the mould as well. But before they're going to read out some information about Singapore Airlines as an airline, and some information about the airframe as well. So founded on May the 1st of 1947, Singapore Airlines is the flag carrier airline of Singapore and has their major airport hub at Singapore Changi International Airport. Commencing operations under their own name on October the 1st of 1972, Singapore Airlines flies to 120 destinations in 46 countries alongside their subsidiary airline Scoot. According to planespotters.net, Singapore Airlines operates an aircraft fleet consisting of 157 aircraft, including the likes of some Airbus A350s, Airbus A380s, Boeing 737s, Boeing 747-400s, Boeing 777s, and their Boeing 787 Dreamliners. However, between the date of July the 31st of 1973 and May the 18th of 2012, they operated a fleet of 79 Boeing 747 jumbo jets, of course in the passenger variants, comprising of 22 Boeing 747-200s, 14 of the 747-300s, and 43 of the 747-400s. Singapore Airlines joined the Star Alliance on April the 1st of the year 2000. So going into some information about this particular airframe now. This aircraft here had the MSN number of 28023. This aircraft here had the line number of 1099, which means this aircraft here was the 1099th Boeing 747 to roll out for Boeing. This aircraft here is a Boeing 747-400 aircraft, or a 412, because at the time 12 was the Boeing customer code for Boeing built aircraft that were destined for Singapore Airlines or Singapore in general. This aircraft here was a 4-year-old aircraft at the time of the end of its life, and performed its first flight on January the 12th of 1997, my bad. This aircraft here was built and produced at Everett Painfield, and this airframe status is currently written off, which we'll get to in a moment. This aircraft here, registered as 9 Victor Sierra Papa Kilo, was delivered to Singapore Airlines on January the 21st of 1997, equipped with 4 Pratt & Whitney 4056 engines, and was painted into the tropical livery, special livery, in August of 1998. So with that information out of the way, let's go ahead and check out this box. I must say I do apologize if you hear any of the traffic noise in the background. It's now going into rush hour, so it is life living on the side of the highway. But anyway, here we have this box for you guys by HX Wings, or HX Models. Here we have the Boeing 747-400 titles on the top of the box here. In the middle we have this ever so stunning Singapore Airlines 747-400 wearing this tropical livery. Of course, this is the mega top of this for Singapore Airlines. I wonder if HX models would come out with the normal livery. We'll definitely go ahead and get that as well. Did grow up seeing the 747 in Christchurch Airport doing this Christchurch Singapore service, so would definitely go ahead and get that. And of course, I do have a classic collection of Singapore Airlines models as well. Of course, this model here will go into that collection. But anyway, here we have the text where it says, "Now more than ever, a great way to fly," which can be seen in the front of the aircraft there, which we'll see up close on the model in a moment. Here we have the Singapore Airlines logo, and of course this aircraft is a 1:1 scale die-cast model aircraft. There of course is the registration, 9 Kilo Sierra Papa Kilo, or 9V-SPK. Very nice. Here we have where it says this is a Boeing 747-400, again with the registration on the bottom left. Singapore Airlines logo there, and of course the two barcodes. This one here showcasing that it flaps up, this one here showcasing that it flaps down. Don't usually go for flaps down aircraft, so I went for the flaps up one. Here we have the 747-400 text again, the aircraft registration, the aircraft looking absolutely gorgeous as well, just there, very nice. And here we have where it states this is a 1:1 scale die-cast aircraft. On the top of the box we see the 747-400 text again, registration up below there, Singapore Airlines logo in the middle, and the scale. And on the back of the box we can see the Boeing 747-400 titles in the Boeing font again, the underside of this aircraft. Very nice. Not too sure why the cockpit windows are on the bottom of the aircraft here, but it's very interesting. Of course, this of course is what the model would look like underneath. Of course, with the model above it. Very nice. A nice looking belly shot. Or I think this might be this is actually the top of the box, the aircraft. So there we go. That's why the cockpit windows are there. Very nice. Very nice to see the details on the back of the box. And of course here are the warning information in Chinese and English, and where it states that this aircraft was made in China. Very nice. And here are the two barcodes as well. Very nice indeed. HX wings, or HX models, have come out with some pretty interesting looking models of late, including the Boeing 747-8s, in the different liveries, the sunrise livery, and of course the the blue house livery. Also they came out with the Atlas Air 747s, the -8s, the Korean Air new livery and old livery 747-8s as well. Soon I've been hearing that they're coming out with some Qantas 747s, so hopefully we know they're dreaming as a release. But also something else came in this box as well. This box came with this little plaque here. I'll try and get a focus on it for you guys. Now this is a very nice addition. I wish other brands would put this little plaque or little collections card in their boxes. I think this would be an awesome collector's piece for collectors as well, to collect some, collect these, and I guess maybe sell them to other people. I think the likes of Energy models, JC Wings, Gemini Jets, Phoenix models, Aviation 100 are missing out on this detail. This little plaque was also in the Cathay Pacific Cargo 747 that arrived in the unboxing I alluded to earlier on in the video. Link will be in the description below if you missed out on that card. But it's a very nice collection piece. I think other brands should include it in their model releases. I guess it would also be a cost-effective thing as well, but as I mentioned, it would be a nice way to collect, another way to collect model aircraft as well. In this little bag, I'm not going to take it out because it would then get dusty, so very nice. I would just live in the box. Also, there is a stand in the box, a very heavy stand. I think I showed that in the unboxing of it. Has like a screw base. to go into the underside of the model. But anyway, that is this portion of the video done. The first part of this video, the showcasing of the box, and of course the reading out of the airline and the aircraft. Let's go ahead and check out the model. And here is the absolutely stunning tropical livery of the Singapore Airlines Boeing 747-400 released by HX models. Now in this portion of the video, I'm going to showcase the model up close to the camera for you guys. But of course, before we do that, I'm going to read out some more information, particularly about this livery, and of course the unfortunate events that took place with this particular airframe. So this livery here was unveiled in September of 1998. And of course, the tropical livery on this aircraft was designed to promote the airline's enhanced first business class offerings in the year of 1998. As you can see, the livery features imagery of tropical paradise elements like palm trees and flowers, symbolizing the airline's commitment to offer a superior customer experience. And of course, unfortunately, on October the 31st of the year 2000, Singapore Airlines Flight 006, operating as Singapore 6 Heavy, was an international scheduled passenger flight operating between Singapore, Changi, and Los Angeles, California, in of course the United States of America, via Taipei Chiang Kai-shek International Airport, which of course is currently known as Taipei Taoyuan International Airport. This flight attempted to depart from a closed runway during a typhoon, unfortunately colliding with construction equipment that were on the closed runway, killing 83 of the 179 people on board. 98 people initially survived the incident, or the impact or the crash, but unfortunately 2 passengers later died in hospital from their injuries. Following the accident, Niner Victor Sierra Papa Lima, the second of the 2 747-400s painted into the livery, was removed from service and repainted back into the standard Singapore Airlines Megatop livery. So very unfortunate events, of course, with this particular airframe. I should point out again that I don't usually go ahead and collect aircraft that were involved in accidents. Of course, my attempts were to go ahead and get the other one, Sierra Papa Lima. But of course that one ended up being out of stock by the time I went ahead and finalized my order. And of course this one here was the only one that was in stock. But I mean, in a way, it's nice to have a commemorative piece showcasing this wonderful livery, and of course the history of it as well. And of course, since Singapore Airlines is my favorite airline, I thought why not go for it, you know. So yeah, that out of the way, let's go ahead and showcase the model up to the camera for you guys, giving you some nice up close shots of this wonderful aircraft. And of course this aircraft is an absolutely stunning mold, so let's go ahead and do that for you guys. First and foremost, as you can see, getting the model up close for you guys, and doesn't this model look absolutely outstanding? The details on this mold couldn't be any more picturesque, if I could say so myself. Very cool indeed. Now let's go ahead and review it. At the front of the aircraft here for you guys, we can see the nose cone. Underneath that is what's known as the weather radar. Now the weather radar is there to detect storms along the flight plan of a flight, to give the pilots a visual indication of the rainfall intensity ahead of them, and of course the possibility of turbulence as well. This enables the crew to navigate around any potential hazardous areas along the flight plan that they've assigned for their flight. So very cool. Here we have at the top of the aircraft here, right there, we can see the iconic 747 Queen of the Skies cockpit windows there. Very nice indeed. And of course there, neatly outlined there, we have the emergency escape hatch for the cockpit. Of course that is where the pilots would evacuate the aircraft when involved in an accident, of course. Here we have where it states at the time, I believe that, I don't know if it's the slogan at the moment, but this is what the slogan was at the time: now more than ever, a great way to fly. I'm pretty sure the slogan at the moment is simply a great way to fly. I could be wrong there. Here we have, in the middle of the shot, we can make out the pitot tubes there. Those two things just there. Now they are there to measure fluid flow velocity during a flight. And you can see just under the cabin window there in the middle of the shot, that is known as the angle of attack sensor, or AOA sensor. That is used to offer a visual indication of the amount of lift the wings are generating at a given airspeed or angle of bank. Very cool. And here we have the nose gear, as you can see, rolling absolutely freely on the axis there with Papa Kilo on the nose gear itself, or nose gear door. Now that is, of course, the last two digits of the registration, which of course is 9 Victor Sierra Papa Kilo, or 9V-SPK, if you aren't too familiar with the phonetic alphabet, of course. Now here we have the L1 boarding door here, one of the two main boarding doors on this aircraft, or three main boarding doors, of course, it being a 747, of course. Here we have this large F here. I believe this is here to symbolize or represent first class. As you can see, there's an F and there's a C as well. So first class would of course be the giveaway there. Now here what I believe is the L2 boarding door. I might be wrong in saying that, or this could just be an exit door, or emergency exit door from the top deck. I believe this one here is the second of the cabin doors. I'm not too familiar with the 747 in terms of the arrangement of the doors, but of course this is the Lima 3 door. Here we have on the top, right in the middle of the shot, we can see the beacon light there, very nice, with some antennas behind them, behind that there. Here on the bottom part of the fuselage, below the cabin windows here, we can make out the pitot static system there. Just trying to get a focus for you guys. There we go, doing my best here. There we go. Now the pitot static system is used to determine aircraft's airspeed, Mach number, altitude and altitude trend, also the vertical speed and climb rate, etc. Very cool. And here we have this small antenna on the bottom of the fuselage here. Very cool. Moving along, we can see how beautiful the joining of the fuselage and the wing box is. Quite outstanding, if I say so myself. There's no seam line whatsoever, which we'll see when we get to the bottom of the aircraft. Now here we have the older style of the Singapore Airlines text there. Of course, the logo type. Of course, it's much bigger now, seen on the 747. Just before they were retired, I think Sierra Papa Kilo was the last one to be retired, and it has, of course, had the large revised titles there. I do have that one by Phoenix, so Phoenix model. So if you want me to do a model review of it, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll do that for you guys. Here we have the overwing exit for you guys. Looking cool. This is the L4 door, of course, an emergency exit door, of course, that's over the wing there. And of course, here we have the landing lights mounted onto the wings here. Of course, that is a component on board the aircraft. That, of course, is to be used between 0 and 10,000 feet. And of course, seen when the aircraft is on an active runway as well. They're usually turned on just before the aircraft starts to roll. And of course, when the aircraft is landing into the runway as well. So very cool. I believe along here somewhere as well, if I'm able to get a nice focus on it for you guys, we can also try and find the wing light, perhaps. Perhaps it's not on here. Interesting. Now here we have this side's Pratt & Whitney engines here. Very cool. These are the Pratt & Whitney 4056 engines, Pratt & Whitney 4000 engines, I believe, just say that. With, of course, the Singapore Airlines logo there on the outside of the nacelle. I believe they're also on the interior as well. They are. There's a nice view of those engines as well. Very cool. And of course here is the look inside the fan blades there, looking wonderful as ever. And of course here is the leading edge of the wing. Very nice details on the top of the wing here. Looking wonderful as ever. And here is the rear navigation light on the end of the wing here. Surprised that they haven't put the strobe lights. Now one thing I have learned since I last filmed my last model review, that an easy way to notice whether this aircraft is a Boeing or an Airbus, because the word Boeing has one syllable in it, so Boeing, and that would also represent the way that the aircraft strobe lights flash. So this in sequence, this aircraft would flash once. Also, like the 787, the MAX 8 family, the 747-8, they flash once in sequence. So Boeing, the use of one syllable. Of course, the word Airbus has two syllables in it, so it would also be an easy way to notice that if it was an Airbus, because Airbus strobe lights flash twice in sequence. So that would also be a good way to identify whether it was an Airbus or a Boeing. Here is the exterior of the wonderful design of the 747-400 winglet there. Very cool indeed. And here is the details on the trailing edge of the wing, looking absolutely outstanding. Of course, with the spoilers, the flaps, and of course the aileron that's right in the middle of the shot there. And then we have some, I believe this is says no step just there. Very cool. And let's have a brief look at the gears here. The gears looking absolutely wonderful as well. As you can see, they do tilt on the axis, which is pretty good. And then we get to the belly gears. Quite free, moving freely there, and they do roll quite outstandingly. Of course, this model here was unboxed in a recent unboxing. If I did allude to a card earlier in the video, there will be the link leading it to the video in the description below, so go ahead and check that out. Nearer to the top of the description, of course. Here is the flag of Singapore just here, very cool. And of course the first of the palm trees there. Very nice. And then we get down to the SATCOM just here. This is what provides the IFE. And of course the Wi-Fi on board the aircraft, of course IFE standing for in-flight entertainment. That of course is seen behind each of the seats on board the aircraft. Here is the Lima 4 door, another one of those emergency exit doors. Another antenna on the bottom of the fuselage there, very nice to see that in detail there. Now, I believe this stylized E here is to represent the word excellence, because of course that is, or it could also be economy as well, because this will be the economy section of the aircraft. But I believe, of course, as I mentioned before, excellence was something that Singapore Airlines were promoting with this aircraft, and of course the livery itself. So very cool. Here we have the Lima 5 door, if I believe I'm saying that. Oh, of course, this is the Lima 6 door. My bad. Here is the Lima 5 door here. This is the Lima 6 door here. I just had to count them up for you guys. And of course, the registration there, 9 Victor Sierra Papa Kilo there. Very nice. And here we have the tail fin with the older version of the Singapore Crest logo. With the current one is much larger. These days seen more so on the 747 freighters that they have. Singapore Airlines, of course, the largest style of the Crest logo there. Other way, it looks fantastic. Used to see the 747 Megatop a lot at Christchurch Airport, because I did used to operate the 340-300, the 777-200. I believe they did operate the 300, the non-ER 300 variant, and of course the 300ER as well. So very cool. As I mentioned, did grow up seeing Singapore Airlines a lot as a child, so that's why my collection is so big in terms of them. Here we have, as you can see, at the end of the rear stabilizer there, and another one just here. Those small dots, they are known as logo lights. They are there to light up the tail for during night operations, to give a visual indication to anyone who's either in the control tower or around the aircraft in terms of in terms of ground crew, who the airline is. Also could be an identification piece or device for anyone around the airfield within other aircraft. Of course, other pilots would be told to follow the Singapore Airlines ahead of them, and they'll need to know where that is, of course. So very cool. Here we have the iconic design of the 747 APU exhaust here. APU standing for auxiliary power unit. Very nice. Trying to get an up close shot of it. For some reason I am struggling with the oh, there we go, with the focusing on it for you guys. Very nice. Let's have a look at the opposite side of the aircraft momentarily to see if there's any other minor differences in terms of this side. Now here we have the forward baggage compartment just here. The rear baggage compartment just here, as you can see, just outlined just there, and of course there's another one right behind it, or to the left of that. Here we have the green navigation light opposed to the red one on the opposite wing. Very nice. Here we have this size engine here. I believe this is the number 4 engine, and number 3 other side 1 and 2. Very nice. It is an absolutely outstanding mould. As you can see, looking at the belly of the aircraft, the mould is absolutely outstanding. Gotta be, I don't know if this is far-fetched saying this, but this has got to be one of my favourite moulds of the 747. I don't have that many 747s in my collection in terms of 400 scale, but this has probably got to be the most detailed 747 belly I've ever seen, really. I do have Phoenix models, I have JC wings, I have Gemini jets in terms of 747s, though they do share the JC wings mold. But here we have at the front, we see the nose gear door mounted into the fuselage there. Of course, that would be where the nose gear would retract into when in flight. And then we get to some air vents, I believe. One there and 2 on the opposite side. And then we get to the wonderful, wonderful details here of the different components on the belly here. Here we have the beacon light and the nice looking stand hole there. Very nice indeed. Nice look at the underside, the opposite view of the upside down gears here. As you can see, they do roll. Nice look of the engine here, nicely detailed underside of the nacelles. Beautiful, absolutely wonderful. You can see the exhaust there as well on the engine, and underside of the slats at the front, the top of the wing, and the bottom of the wing being the trailing edge. And of course the pylons as well, they look fantastic indeed. 9 Victor Sierra Papa Kilo. I don't know why I keep saying 9 Kilo, but of course 9 Kilo is the prefix for QA Airways. Haven't seen the model review I did of the QA Airways 330 Neo, go ahead and check it out, top right corner right about now. But of course 9 Victor is for Singapore. And as we get to the tail, the very tip of the tail plane, we can see the entryway to the APU, auxiliary power unit for anyone who is on the ground engineers that are needing the entranceway to the APU. This of course is where they would go to with those scissor lifts. But otherwise, it is a fantastic model. It is absolutely outstanding. Unfortunate, of course, to know the outcome of this particular airframe, but I mean, stunning model to have in my collection, could not be happier with the details on this aircraft. I have known for a bit now, or we've just seen that HX models, I believe they're called, have come out with the likes of more Singapore Airlines 747s. I believe Sierra Mike uniform in the 50th anniversary livery, and of course, no, that's Sierra Mike Zulu in that 50th anniversary livery, and of course Sierra Mike uniform being in the regular Megatop livery. I will be getting both of them for sure, as of course that Singapore Airlines aircraft, they'll go straight into my classic collection just like this one as well. So could not be happier with that information. So look out for that, the unboxing of both of those aircraft coming very soon onto the channel. And that would do it for today's video, guys. The model review of the Singapore Airlines Boeing 747-400 released by HX models wearing this tropical livery. If you like what you saw, go ahead and leave a thumbs up below. Great indication of how much you enjoyed today's video and of course the content here on this channel. If you want to come along and tune into more like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel below. And while you're there, din the bell icon, the essential part to receive notifications as soon as the videos go live onto the channel. Leave any of your thoughts below in the comments below about what you liked in this video. Was it the mould, the details on the aircraft, the livery itself? Any of your thoughts, any of your feedback, leave it in the comments below. You want to go ahead and scan the QR code you can see on the screen now. They will lead you straight to my Instagram account for Ashton International Airport. But of course, if you want to see the links in one full place for easier access as well, go ahead and scan the QR code you can see on the screen now. They will lead you straight to my Livery page for all the links in one full place, as I mentioned, for easier access. But yeah, that will do it for today's video, guys. Thank you very much for coming along and tuning in today's video. If you like what you saw in today's video and want to check out my other content here on this channel, there'll be some options for you guys on the end screen soon enough. On the left hand side will be my most recent video here on the channel. On the right side will be the full list of model reviews I've done so far here on the channel. In the middle will be where you can subscribe. But until next time, guys, fly safe, stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next one.